Of course, the correct answer is Paris. Apple tree off the mark. The game is heating up. The tension is building. Some are calm, some are fearless. Some are already feeling the pressure. Each one of you stepping into this arena with something to prove. Master Beza, joining late. Be wary. An amazing player, an amazing competitor. Be wary, ladies and gentlemen. Your next question. True or false? Humans have 5 senses. True or false? Humans have 5 senses. Zane is first. Zane tying things up at first place with Carl H. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. Do we have a contestable situation? Do we have a contestable situation? Glad we could clear that up. No problem at all, ladies and gentlemen. We do not. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. How many darts are thrown in one turn? How many darts are thrown in one turn? I've got Carl H, UK lady. I have Carl H. The correct answer is 3. Carl H. Turns out. Thank you for the confirmation, UK lady. Appreciated. Carl B2N. I don't think you registered for this game, but stick around. You could go into the final round with one of our winners. So far, registrations are Annie, Martin, Zane, Trippy, Carl, Y7Y, Appletree, and of course, Beza. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. What is 360 divided by 4? UK lady, I have Carl H. Can we get a confirmation on Carl H with the first correct answer from one of our registered players? Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't get to register for this game, there's always the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, true or false? The Great Wall of China is visible from space. In fact, it is on one of the only man-made objects that is truly visible, in good conditions, of course, from space. The correct answer is true. I think we have Carl H again. Carl B is not a registered player. Control. Going to watch LFC v Brighton. Great game, mate. Great game. Carl H takes the lead with 6 points. So far, there's 4 people on the board. Ladies and gentlemen, Carl H on 6, Zane on 3, Trippy and Apple Tree on 1. Good stuff, guys. Your next question. What is 5 times 15? What is 5 times 15? The correct answer is 75. I think we have Carl H again. I put this to the audience. Current players. We have a number of answers coming in from players who are not registered. Shall we allow new players in? Any final votes? It swings on one vote here. Are we going to allow new players to enter? Nothing. Let me be clear, ladies and gentlemen, nothing will change. The points will remain the same, but there will just be new players added to the game. We're at 58% and 42%. Ladies and gentlemen, players. Contestants, contenders. Annie says, I arrived on time, so should they. Apple Tree gives a counter argument, along with Carl H. Please state your name if you wish to be added. The majority of the vote said yes. We will go with that. Please state your name now in the chat if you'd like to be added to the game. Carl B2N. We have Carl B2N. Who else do we have? Faria. I remember you from our last game. Hope you're doing well. Faria is added. Darren. Mo is playing. Mo 3019. Edwardson. Molina. I will call you Molina for the sake of my scoreboard. Right. From now on, from this point onwards in the game, we have no more new registrations. We have... Look, Scarpi, are you playing? Look, Scarpi and Charlie. Charlie's in. Scarpi, 4231. Are you in? No. Scarpi can join our official refereeing team. Good luck, everybody. The game's heated up a bit. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 players. Ladies and gentlemen, 14 players. Your next question. How many seconds are there in a minute? How many seconds are there in a minute? The correct answer is, of course, 60. Can we get a confirmation on who said that first from our refereeing team? UK lady, Dixie. Look, Scarpy was Beza. Beza with the comeback. I said, be wary of that man. Be careful of that man. A great competitor, a great contestant. Your next question, ladies and gentlemen. How many players are on the pitch in a football match in total? How many players are on the pitch in a football match in total? The correct answer is 22. Charlie, a newcomer. Welcome in. Off the board. On the board. Number of players who are still not on the board as yet. Pick up the pace. Ladies and gentlemen. We have a dispute. I believe it was Charlie. Some others believe it was Zane. We go to the vote. Was it Charlie or Zane for the last question? Charlie takes the points. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. How many points is a conversion in rugby? How many points is a conversion in rugby? The correct answer is 2. Annie, congratulations. Off the mark. Your next question. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the square root of 64? The correct answer is 8. Scarpy. Our third official. Can we get a ruling, please? Scarpy. It will go to our third official for a ruling. It will go to VAR. Beza. Beza on 2. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. What planet is famous for its great red spot? What planet is famous for its great red spot? correct answer is Jupiter. Martin Roy, congratulations. Fun fact, that great red spot, which is a storm on Jupiter, is the size of Earth. Can you believe that? That great red spot that you can see on Jupiter is the size of Earth. Skip, unfortunately, you aren't one of our registered players. Next time round, brother. Next time round. Shall we allow Skip to play? Shall we allow Skip to play? Does Skittles play? Skip, I appreciate the humility. These players have gone too far, done too much. Sacrifices. Searched into the very depths of their soul to find themselves at this moment. Your next question, ladies and gentlemen. What element does the letter H represent on the periodic table? The correct answer is hydrogen. Correct. Helium is He. The correct answer is hydrogen. Can I get a ruling by one of our third officials? Mr. Scarpi, are you available, sir? Charlie. Charlie on the comeback. 2 points. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, name a film Leonardo DiCaprio starred in. Name a film Leonardo DiCaprio starred in. A number of correct answers. One of my personal favorites, Wolf of Wall Street. But they're all correct. Titanic. Mr. Scarpi, I have Beza as first. Can we get a confirmation? One point per answer. Do we have Beza? Can I get a confirmation on Beza? Thank you, sir. 4231. At first glance, it looks simple. Just questions, just answers. But we know it gets a little bit more complex than that, doesn't it? Tonight we find out who can think. Contestants, we're moving into the final period of the game. We have Carl H leading the way on 7. Beza, who joined late, may I add, has come back. A storming, blistering start. 3 points, with him and Zayn in second. Charlie, the latest of all of our contestants, on 2. No excuses. Contestants, welcome in. We carry on. Your next question. How many minutes is a full football match, excluding stoppage? How many minutes is a full football match, excluding stoppage? The correct answer is 90. I have Annie. Mr. Scarpy, can we get a ruling on that, please? We have Beza. I'll have to put that one. Is it Beza? My apologies, Annie. My apologies, Annie. Beza, on to 4. The game is heating up quite nicely. VAR. Is it going to VAR? And he's offside. Ladies and gentlemen, our third official has had his final ruling. Your next question. What is 72 divided by 9? What is 72 divided by 9? The correct answer is 8, ladies and gentlemen. The correct answer is 8. Mr. Scarpy, can we get a ruling, please, sir? Skit is not playing. It was Annie. We'll have to put it to the audience. The game's heating up. Please be honest with your answers. Who got the correct answer in the quickest time? The vote is conclusive. 77% believe it was Annie. The scales of justice are with you. Annie takes the points. Next question. Ladies and gentlemen, what galaxy do we live in? What galaxy do we live in? The correct answer is the Milky Way. Mr. Scarpy, as we thought, can we get a ruling on the correct answer, Mr. Scarpy? Alex is not a registered player. The next registered player, please, Mr. Scarpy. Bez is next. Beza moves to 5. Thank you, Mr. Scarpy. Ladies and gentlemen, you always have the option to put it to a poll. But to save time, we limit it to 2 per player. So if you truly believe you have been hard done, please allow us to put it to the audience. Beza moves to 5. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, the game is not rigged. We pride ourselves on our core values of transparency, fairness, and equality. Should you feel hard done by a decision, you will always have the option to put it up to a vote. The milk has been skimmed. Only the creme de la creme remain. Carl with 7, Beza on 5, Zane on 3, Charlie on 2. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. True or false, the sun is a star? True or false, the sun is a star? The correct answer is, of course, true. Mr. Scarpi, our first registered player, please. True or false? Of course it is true. Mr. Scarpi Debo is not playing. Our next registered player. The creme de la creme remain. The upper echelons of society are now fighting for their place. Mr. Scarpi, Beza, a late joiner, I may add, who has come back in truly remarkable fashion. Confidence is high. Answers are questionable. We go to VAR. Will not tolerate such wrongdoings in this coliseum of arenas we call the YouTube chat. Did Beza get the last answer correct? I must say, ladies and gentlemen, we will always go with the vote of the people, for the people, by the people. I'm afraid, Beza, the point will be deducted. Ladies and gentlemen, please, please, patience. Your next question. Blue Baron is not a registered player at this moment in time. Ladies and gentlemen, order, order in the room. Next question. How many continents are there on Earth? How many continents are there on Earth? A lot of outrageous comments being thrown in the chat. Mr. Scarpi. Mr. Scarpi. Please confirm. Mr. Scarpi. The correct answer. How many continents are there on Earth? The correct answer is 7. Mr. Scarpi, my apologies for not relaying that information sooner. Can we get some more validation? The Blue Baron, you're more than welcome to join the next round. We've got like 15 players in here currently, all vying for a chance to put their hands on the trophy. My apologies, sir. The correct answer is 7. It goes to Beza. Your next question, ladies and gentlemen. How many minutes are there in 3 hours? How many minutes are there in 3 hours? The correct answer is, of course, 180. 6 times 3. Add a 0. Can I go to my third umpire, please? There's a lot of interference in the chat. A lot of stuff is coming through. And I am unable to make an outright decision. Zane, thank you, Mr. Scarpi. Zane, this truly is a 4-horse race. Baron is not a registered player. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. What planet has the most moons? What planet has the most moons? Carl H., absolute pleasure having you here. Are you relinquishing your lead? Are you relinquishing the lead? Are you leaving the show? Mr. Carl H., are you leaving? The planet which has the most moons is, of course, Jupiter. Mr. Scarpi, can we have a validation? Can we have a confirmation on the correct answer? Apple tree. Carl H. Carl H. is vacating the show in gentlemanly fashion. He is donating his points to Apple Tree. Apple Tree, do you accept? Apple Tree takes the lead with 8 points. In a brutal twist of events, in this topsy-turvy game that we love, Appletree takes the lead. Congratulations. Baron is not in it. Baron is not a registered player, unfortunately. Carl has vacated his position and donated his points to Appletree. Gentlemanly conduct of the highest nature. Humility, respect, empathy, compassion. Wonderful traits of a man shown by Mr. Carl H. Appletree, congratulations. I hope you can do it justice. Is Beza leaving too? Sorry. I need to clarify. Is Beza leaving? Beza, who are you donating your points to? Beza has left. He's gone. He watch. Let the boy watch. He's left. Let the boy watch. He needs to learn. Ladies and gentlemen, Beza, I know you're still in it. Unless I get a direct confirmation from the player himself. None of this slandering will be tolerated in this court. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. All good, guys, all good. Just a quiz, just a game. Just a bit of a laugh. Name a film Russell Crowe has starred in. Name a film Russell Crowe has starred in. We all know Gladiator. We all remember that scene. Husband to a murdered wife, father to a murdered son, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. Are you not entertained? Unbelievable film from the early 2000s. Maximus Decimus Mauroleus, commander of the armies of the North. Outrageously good film, Gladiator. Outrageously good. Mr. Scarpi, can I have a confirmation who had the correct answer? I'm afraid Alex is not a registered player. Alex is not a registered player. Appletree got it. Appletree on 9 points. Thank you, Mr. Scarpi. I appreciate your patience and your vigor and your tenacity in navigating what is a treacherous YouTube chat this evening. There's a lot on the line, I understand, but ladies and gentlemen, please, if you can refrain, if you are not a registered player. But fear not, in our final round, the winner will be able to elect someone in the chat, whether they are a player or not, to go into a final round. Apple Tree is on 9. Zayn on 4. Beza on 6. If Apple Tree gets this, they win the game. True or false? Humans have a bone in their tongue. Humans have a bone in their tongue. True or false? False. The correct answer is false. The tongue is pure muscle. Annie, congratulations. Your next question, ladies and gentlemen. Annie, are you okay? Absolutely. What is the largest ocean? What is the largest ocean? The correct answer is the Pacific. Mr. Scarpi, can we have a validation check, please? Mr. Scarpi. Skit. Next one from Skit. Skit is not a registered player. Annie, Martin, Zane, Trippy, Y7Y, Appletree, Beza, Carl B, Faria, Melina or Charlie. The correct answer is Pacific. Pacific is the correct answer. Did Faria get it correct? We're putting it to a poll, ladies and gentlemen. Did Faria get it correct? Please answer truthfully. Please do not be biased. Skit is not a registered player, neither is Peace Blossom. Ladies and gentlemen, please. Please refrain. Please keep your cool. Be cool, calm, and collected as we navigate these turbulent times. Defo Faria. Faria, you're keeping everyone in the game. As it stands, if Apple Tree gets 1 point, she takes it all. For guts, for glory, for determination. Carl H. with a good deed, showing his humility, his kindness. What great gentlemanly conduct we have. Next question, ladies and gentlemen. How many seconds are there in 1 hour? How many seconds are there in 1 hour? How many seconds in 1 hour? The correct answer is 3,600. Can we have a ruling on the correct answer, please? Abdul, unfortunately, is not a registered player on this round. Faria was first as a registered player. Faria. I think Faria is a comeback on the cards. Is a comeback on the cards. Is it a game of two halves? Will you snatch victory from the jaws of defeat? Ladies and gentlemen, it will take an almighty run to stop Appletree from winning this. This is not over yet, not even close. I'm not saying a comeback just yet, but there's definitely momentum. Stranger things have happened. Much stranger. On average, Appletree, calm the nerves. You are in a position where one correct answer will take all the glory. Ladies and gentlemen, if Appletree gets this, she wins the game. Are you ready for the next question, ladies and gentlemen? Appletree is ready. Mo is ready. Okay. On average, how many times does the human heart beat per day? On average, how many times does the human heart beat per day? The correct answer is 100,000. We do not have a correct answer in the chat from a registered player. Voided round. Next question. Name a UK airport. Name a UK airport. Annie, Zane, Gatwick. All correct answers. Annie takes it first. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, all correct answers: Heathrow, Gatwick, Stansted, Manchester, all UK airports. As it stands, things are heating up. The pots are simmering. They're coming to a boil, coming to a head. Carl H. donated his points to Appletree. Appletree now leads with 9, needing 1 to conclude the game. We've had some remarkable comebacks from Annie, Zane and Beza, Charlie and Faria. A valiant effort. You need to take the answer to keep the game alive. If Appletree takes this, they win. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. How many animals of each kind did Noah take on the ark? How many animals of each kind did Noah take on the ark? Annie, correct. Moves to 5. Appletree, should I come back? Carl, you may have given this away. You may have thrown away victory. I think Appletree is trying to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. Next question, ladies and gentlemen. How many birthdays does the average person have? How many birthdays does the average person have? The correct answer is 1. Zane, making a fighter fit, not going down without a fight. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. May I remind you, Appletree needs 1 point for victory. Zane, Annie, Beza are all on 5. Your next question. How many bones are in the human hand? How many bones are in the human hand? I don't think we have a correct answer in the chat. The correct answer is 27. We continue. Next question. Next question, ladies and gentlemen. How many months have 31 days? How many months have 31 days? The correct answer is 7. I do not see a correct answer by a registered player in the chat. Next question. Apple tree is registered, but the correct answer was not given. I will put it to a vote, ladies and gentlemen. Carl H. I'm afraid you forgoed that right when you donated your points to Apple Tree. This game does not include teams. It's individuals vying for success. My apologies, Mr. Carl H. Gentlemanly conduct. Unfortunately, once you donated your points to another member, another contestant, you obligated yourself. You are no longer there, Carl. But great sportsmanship. Absolutely fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. Please listen carefully. As we move into the more intellectual phase of the game. A farmer has 17 sheep. All but 9 die. How many are left? The correct answer is 9. Faria, congratulations. Correct answer, 3 cows. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. What is the capital of Australia? What is the capital of Australia? Zane, correct. How? How are we in this position, ladies and gentlemen? About 20 minutes ago, Carl H led the game, looked like a clear winner, a clear victor in this quiz. He kindly donated his points to Appletree, who has 9. To win the game, you need 10. How? How have we not concluded this game? How? How have we not concluded this game? We've seen this story before. This is either the comeback arc or the heartbreak episode. Everyone here is smart enough to win. Staying calm, having the presence of mind, the dexterity, the determination, the acute thinking. That's a different story. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. How many hearts does an octopus have? How many hearts does an octopus have? Correct answer, Dublin. Very good, very good. Voided round, unfortunately. We have dispute in the chat. We have rebellion. Carl H., you forego your right to answer questions when you donated your points to Appletree. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. Of course, I remember you, Roxy. Welcome back. We're in the midst of a final game here. Please stay along. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. What is the longest river in the world? What is the longest river in the world? Zane moves to 7. I see. I see. I see, sir. Kind sir. Next question, ladies and gentlemen. The Amazon contains a fifth of the world's fresh water. Unbelievable. I don't know how many countries it travels through either. Exceptional. Exceptional. Next question, ladies and gentlemen. Name an astronaut. Name an astronaut. Annie. Correct. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, both walked the moon on the Apollo 11 mission in 1969. Annie moves to 6. We have Apple Tree on 9, Zane on 7, Annie on 6. Congratulations. It's been a great game. Next question. What is the fastest land animal? What is the fastest land animal? Cheetah is correct. Zane moves to 8. Look, Scarpy, I missed you. Third official. Nice to have you back. Ladies and gentlemen, Apple Tree on 9, Zane on 8, Annie on 6. Next question for the trophy. How many countries are there in the world recognized by the UN? How many countries are there in the world recognized by the UN? Zane, I don't know how you're doing this. Zane ties it up with Apple Tree at 9-all. A truly epic game. A truly epic game. Ladies and gentlemen, Zane has tied it up with Apple Tree at 9-all. First to 10 wins. If Zane or Apple Tree get this next, they take the game. Contenders, contestants. Your next question. Name a country in the Pacific Islands. Annie. Correct. Annie moves to 7. The Pacific Islands. Countries, you could have had Fiji, Marshall Islands, Papua New Guinea, Samoa, Tonga. A number of different islands you could have had. Congratulations, Annie. In the Pacific Islands. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. Name one of the seven dwarfs. Name one of the seven dwarfs. From Snow White. Name one of the seven dwarfs. Sleepy is correct. Annie with back-to-back points. Congratulations. Moves to 8. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. In The Lion King, who is Simba's mother? In The Lion King, who is Simba's mother? Sarabi is the correct answer. Annie, first. Annie on 9. Congratulations. We have 3 people tied for first place. Apple Tree, Zane, and Annie. Next one takes it. Next point takes the win. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. In the movie starring Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone, what city are the family flying to? What city are the family flying to? I don't think we have a correct answer. In Home Alone, the city the family are flying to is Paris. Ladies and gentlemen, your next question. Who wrote Bohemian Rhapsody? Who wrote Bohemian Rhapsody? Carl. Carl is not in the game, unfortunately. Freddie Mercury is correct. Freddie Mercury is the correct answer. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a victor. Annie M. Are you okay? Congratulations. Congratulations on a phenomenal comeback. What a game. Annie, do you have a few words to sum up your victory today? Annie, congratulations. Zane, a fantastic competitor. Apple Tree, after being gifted 9 points by a gentleman and a scholar, an academic, a true gent, Carl, unfortunately, you didn't have what it took to take it across the finish line. But we appreciate your sportsmanship. We appreciate your competitive edge. Ladies and gentlemen, that does not conclude the game for the evening. Annie, you have the opportunity to take somebody into the final round. Search the depths of your soul and choose a worthy competitor to take into a final round. There are no stipulations, obligations, or contractual agreements that you must adhere to. The choice is yours. Annie, can we lock in your final decision, please? Annie, can we get a confirmation on who you'd like to bring in? Is it Mohammed 3019? Could you confirm? Is it Mohammed 3019? Wonderful. We now go into a final round. We go with Annie v. Mohammed. Before we start the final round, let me say thank you to, of course, Annie, Martin Roy, Zane, Trippy, Carl, Y7Y, Appletree Beza, Carl B, Faria, Mo, of course, who we're going to now see into the final round, Melina, and Charlie. Some great answers, some great trivia, some great knowledge. Before we move on to the final round, I'd like to read out a couple of quotes. First one by Usain Bolt. I trained 4 years to run 9 seconds, and people give up when they don't see results in 2 months. Let that sink in. Serena Williams, famous tennis player. Please watch the movie with Will Smith as Serena and Venus's dad. I can't remember the title, but definitely worth a watch. I really think a champion is defined not by their wins, but how they recover when they fall. Michael Jordan. I failed over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed. Having said that, We move into the final round. Vince Lombardi said, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Conor McGregor, I'm not talented, I'm obsessed. Ladies and gentlemen, aside from the quiz, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you will strive to succeed your goals, you're making progress, and things are generally going well in your life. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you're all in good health and continue to do well. Now, Annie has chosen Mohammed. Mr. Beza, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear about your loss. Condolences are with you. Chat, let's show some support to Mr. Beza 50K. Pass it forward, guys. By the way, on a side note, for this final round, whilst we have two players, if someone other than Annie or Mohammed answers first, the person who answered correct first can award their points to either player. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys showing some support to Master Beza there. Kind, compassionate. It's exactly what this channel's about. Annie, Mohammed, are you ready? Guys, the live stream will also be up, and feel free to watch it again for key moments. It will start processing and then it'll probably be uploaded the next day or two. And then if you're on YouTube, just open the panel and you can see all of the chat comments as we go through it. So once again, appreciate it. Thank you. Annie V. Mohammed, are you ready? Whose name will it be on the trophy? First question. What is the only country that has coastlines on both the Atlantic and Indian Oceans? The correct answer is South Africa, the only country that has coastlines on both the Atlantic and Indian Oceans. It's the final round, Beza. It's the final round between Annie and Mo. Who got the correct answer? Of course, absolutely, Beza. Absolutely. Feel free to, my man. Feel free to. Hope you're doing okay. Who got the question correct? Carl H. You have the choice. Since you're in the donation kind of mood today, will it be Annie or will it be Mohammed who gets the point? Annie. Next question. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the longest running TV show still in production? What is the longest TV show still in production? The correct answer is The Simpsons. Annie goes 2-0 up. B. Mohammed 3019. The news is actually a great shout. Not so much a show, more journalism, freedom of press. But yeah, if it was that, it definitely would be. So sorry to hear this, Beza. So sorry to hear that, Beza. We got you, Beza. We got you. Rest in peace. Absolutely. That's tough, my man. It's tough. Sorry to hear that, Beza. Much love to you, my man. Much love to you. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Mr. 3019, very much appreciate it if you stuck around.